Hi, I'm Jordan from Anywhere Bikes, and today we're going to teach you how to assemble your trike. And if you want to, you can follow along with your manual, and we'll get right into it. We're going to start by installing the handlebars. Make sure that the stem is facing forward, and that you go over your cables, so that your cables are on the correct side of your handlebars. Then just insert that down into your fork. You're going to notice that there's some marks here on the stem. Make sure that you insert it at least above those lines and not below or on them. But you can insert it otherwise at any height that you want. I'm going to insert it all the way. It can be adjusted later, however you want it. Whatever you're most comfortable with. And you're going to use a 1/4 inch Allen wrench that was included in your kit to tighten down this handlebar. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use another wrench that was included. It'll be your 3/16 Allen wrench. We're going to straighten up these handlebars on the front. What you're going to want to do is just loosen those bolts just very, very slightly. Bring your handlebars up and level. And you can adjust this later too, to wherever you're most comfortable with. And use that 3/16 to tighten down those head bolts on the stem. Next, we're going to take your shortest fender and install it on the front. You'll also want your headlamp. This is also going to take a 3/16 wrench. If you have an extra crescent wrench, definitely use it. It's going to help you out in this part. You're going to pass that 3/16 bolt, that's 2 inches long, through the headlamp, then through the fender. This part can be tricky, and I'm sure I'm going to get butterfingers at some point. Now that's tightened on. Hold those pieces level. Use your 3/16. Start tightening down that headlamp and fender. Let me grab my crescent wrench real quick. Alright, and once that front fender's installed, we're going to move on to front wheel. Front wheel has your motor on it. If you are looking at the bike from the front, you want your disc rotor to be facing to your right, the bike's left, and you want your cable to be facing to your left and the bike's right. You'll notice that these washers have little notches on them. Make sure that you're putting that on the inside. On both sides. You'll want it to face the fork. You can install it kind of however at first. But you want both of them to match. Lift up on those handlebars. Gently drop it down on the forks. Make sure that that notch lines up with the forks. That notch is going to fall right. That notch nut is going to fall right in here on the forks. We're going to take the nut, walk it down the bolt on both sides. And with your included wrench, with a crescent wrench, we're going to lock that down. And we're going to connect the water up. From the motor, like so. Okay, so next we're going to install your front basket. You're going to need a 1/8 Allen wrench. Just be careful as you're removing these screws not to drop them, like I just about did. They come with washers on them, and they are easy to lose, they are easy to drop. I do it all the time. So just put your hand underneath it while you're taking them out. And then next we're going to do what's called a stop fit on the basket. Just take one screw at a time. And just install it finger tight. It's finger tight, one screw at a time. Then I'm going to get my 1/8 wrench again. And try to travel that basket up as far as I can. And center it up. There's some lines in here. You can adjust it from left to right. Try to center that as best as you can. Torque those bolts down real good. Your headlamp and your fender may need adjustment. That's okay. Just do the adjustments that you need to make it fit. And then we are going to install the rear fenders, which is also going to require a 1/8 wrench. Your rear fender is going to look like this. You have both a left and a right. They're fairly interchangeable though. Another thing you're going to want to do is your fender is going to come with these brackets attached. You're going to want to take these bolts off to where your fender and brackets will be separate. They'll look something like that. And then the screws you just took out, you're going to put those back in with the bracket. Then take the bolts that you removed from the fender and the bracket and put those back together. And you can tighten all your bolts down and mirror the process on the other side. Next, we're going to do your pedals. They will be labeled with an L and an R, which means left and right. On your left side pedal, it's extremely important to remember that the old rule, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey doesn't apply. It's lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. So whenever you go to install your left pedal, and you can install it with the included wrench, make sure that you're turning that to the left side, and it should go in easy. Shouldn't go in hard. You don't want to cross-thread it. And on the right side, we're once again going to apply the old rule, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So on this right side pedal, once again, just let it start easy. You don't want to cross-thread it. And use the wrench that was given to you to tighten that in. Then we can install your battery. You'll notice that there's a groove on the back, and it corresponds to the bracket that's on there on your bike. We're going to line that up. And the battery should slide right in. Then push that down. It may get in the way of your seat clamp. If you need to, just move that battery real quick. Pull that seat clamp out. And then we'll install your seat. Now on your seat, same as with your stem, you're going to have a minimum line. Make sure you get it to at least above those lines. But for this, I'm going to install it down all the way. Take your seat clamp. If you need to, tighten it up a little. And push it in until it's closed, and that'll lock your seat in place. You have now fully assembled your trike. Your next step is to let it charge, and then you can take it for a test ride.